Hello, today we're going to be learning lesson 3-5 in our algebra book, and this is all about finding out how to graph by using the slope-intercept form. And what this is being able to take any linear equation and rewriting it in this particular way, y equals mx plus b, where in this instance m, just like yesterday we learned, is the slope of our line, and b is straight from the name intercept. It is actually the y-intercept. That means where it's going to cross the y-axis. So if I have an equation and it looks like this, y equals 5x plus 2, and it's already in this form, just like the y equals mx plus b, I could see straight away my slope is going to be 5. That's how steep the line is going to go. And it's going to cross the y-axis at 2. That's my y-intercept. Now I know that most equations are not already given to us in this form. So sometimes you might have an equation that looks like 3x minus 3y equal to 12. If I want to rewrite this formula looking like y equals mx plus b, first I need to move the 3x to the other side. I'm going to do that by subtracting. I'm going to be left with negative 3y is equal to negative 3x plus 12. And one more step to get the y by itself is dividing both sides by negative 3. I've done this many times already, so you should be pretty good at this. I'm looking, negative 3x divided by negative 3 is just positive x, and positive 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And you might look at this equation and say, oh, I know what the y-intercept is right away. It's negative 4. Again, that means that it's going to cross the y-axis at negative 4. But it's kind of hard to see what the slope is in this example, but I'm smart. I've looked at this many times, and I know that there is an invisible 1 right in front of that variable x, so that 1 is going to be my slope in this instance. So why don't we do an example where we're actually going to graph an equation. So go ahead and draw yourself a graph right now, and the equation that I'd like us to work on is y is equal to 2/3 x minus 4. I hope that you can see right away that the 2/3, that fraction, is my slope, and that my y-intercept is negative 4. Okay, so I've identified those two numbers from my equation. So I'm going to start off with my y-intercept. It's crossing the y-axis at negative 4, which is down here. So I'm going to put my dot down below, okay, and I'm going to label it. That's at 0, negative 4. Okay, and from here I'm going to take my slope, and if you remember, the slope is rise over run. So from this negative 4, I'm going to rise up 2, 1, 2 spaces, and I'm going to run positive 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put my dot right there. This is actually at 3, negative 2. And one more step, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to connect the dots, draw my line straight through it, and I've successfully graphed this equation by using the slope-intercept form. So why don't we try another one? This time we're going to be given an equation that is not in slope-intercept form to begin with. 2x plus y is equal to 3. So again, we're going to just need to do a little bit of work to rewrite it. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. And this works out very nicely. Y is equal to negative 2x plus 3. So let's identify our slope. Our slope is -2, and our y-intercept is +3. Again, that means that it is going to cross the y-axis at +3. So let's find that on our y-axis. I'm going to put my dot there, my coordinate, and this is at 0, 3. And from this point, I'm going to move according to what my slope is. My slope is -2, just that integer. But I know that this is the same as -2/1. My rise is the top value, and my run is on the bottom. So if it's -2, I'm not going to be going up 2, rising 2. I'm going to be going down 2 spaces. So down 1, 2. That will be my rise. And my run is still going to be positive. So I'm going to go to the right 1, mark it right there. I'm going to label it. This is at 1, 1. And again, I'm just going to get my ruler, connect the 2 dots. And again, I have successfully graphed another equation. So I'd really recommend that you just follow the same method, okay, of being able to rewrite any linear equation so that it's in slope-intercept form, and being able to graph it is going to be a piece of cake for you. So I'd like to try one more example. This time I'm going to give you 2 equations. Y is equal to 1/2 x plus 2. And then I'd also like us to graph y is equal to 1/2 x minus 3. Both of these, luckily, are already in slope-intercept form, so I just need to identify what my slope is. The slope of my first equation is 1/2. The y-intercept is +2. For my bottom one, the slope is also 1/2. But this time, the y-intercept is -3. So just by looking at these without graphing it yet, I can tell that they both have the same slope. So that means that they both are going to be the same steepness, if you will, like climbing up a mountain. If you have them side by side, they would both be at the same angle. So just to prove it, let's graph both of these lines. So I'm going to start with the y-intercept, which is +2. And that's right here. And then I'm going to go up 1 and across 2. I'm going to connect the 2 dots. And I have graphed, just like that, my first line. Now the next time I'm going to start at -3 on the y-axis, which is way down here. And again, my slope is the same. I'm going to go up 1, and I'm going to go to the right, +2. Mark my dot right there. Going to connect the 2 with my ruler. And look at that. These lines are parallel. I don't know if you can tell, but they will keep going forever and they will never run into one another, and that is because they have the same slope. So this is just something that is important for you to understand, that whenever you see 2 lines with the same slope, they are going to be parallel. They will just be crossing the y-axis at 2 different locations. So that's all I have for you for lesson 3-5. So come with me with any questions you might have tomorrow.